my name is Annie and I'm a knitwear designer and yarn dyer living south of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm really glad you stopped by my podcast today because I really do believe that there is just something about yarn that brings us together. Today's going to be a little bit of a short episode, and as you guys know, if you follow the podcast, it is going out a little bit late. This week has been a little crazy, as I'm sure the rest of you can relate to with everything going on. But before I launch into everything, just a couple of announcement admin-y kind of things. First off, we are getting close to the end of the month, which means two things. It means that this is the last few, week or so that you will be able to get the full year-long subscription for Fantastic Socks and get the mysterious, exclusive, nobody else is going to get it, 13th colorway. So if you are wanting that, definitely make sure you get it this month. So packages will start shipping next month, and that'll be our first colorway, and boom, we'll be off to the races. So it's going to be a fun adventure, and I really, really would like to make sure that nobody misses out on the 12-month option if that is what you're looking for. Also, it is my 30th birthday, and I decided to have a pattern sale. So everything on Ravelry that I have self-published is 50% off. Hey, okay. Use the code DIRTY30. It's all on Instagram, so you can see how it's spelled and everything, and you'll get 50% off all of my patterns. You can use it as many times as you want to pick up one or a bunch, or if you change your mind and you're like, oh, I should have gotten that one, and you go back for it, you can still use the code. So if there are some of my patterns you've been wanting, better load up, and what better time than right now when I'm sure quite a few of you, like myself, are at home a lot more than normal and have a lot of extra knitting time. So definitely check out my Ravelry shop and see if there's anything that tickles your fancy. As I mentioned, yes, I am home for 2 weeks. My store closed, and practicing social distancing. Basically the only people that I have seen since I left work, aside from my quick little hazardous trips to the grocery store, have been my boyfriend Michael and my best friend / adoptive sister Allison. So it's weird, I think a lot of everybody don't mind me. I think a lot of people are kind of spaced out by this and just kind of what's going on, and it really feels weird, and I am definitely one of them, so I'm just kind of out of it. And last night I slept horribly, so today I do apologize if my words don't work quite right, but it it's weird. I like to stay home as much as possible anyway, especially since my job is so people oriented, so it hasn't really sunk in yet, I don't think, even though I'm going on, today is my 4th day off. Usually I have my 2 off days, Wednesday and Thursday. And then yesterday I had off, and I was like, ooh, wow. But I dyed yarn a bunch, so I was still working even though I wasn't at work. So today I was going to finish dyeing yarn and stuff like that, but I decided to kind of lie low because I slept so horribly. But anyway, all of that to say, the March Club will be shipping out next week. That was such a ramble. I'm sorry. I'll probably cut most of that out. But anyway, the March shipment for Sock Yarn Monthly will be going out next week. I did a test, a trial run yesterday, and it didn't quite turn out. So I'm going to run another test, and I think I know what I did wrong and can fix it. So I'll be working on that on Monday, and they will, get dyed, dried, all that, and shipped by the end of the week. I think that's everything admin-y / why the podcast is late, and so anyway, moving on. Today, I just did not feel like having something hot to drink. I think it's probably because it's in the freaking 80s, or at least that's what they said it was today. Thank you, Georgia. But anyway, so I'm being bad. I'm drinking soda with tons of sugar and horrible things. And, I need the caffeine, or I'd be a zombie today. I don't think this podcast would be very interesting if it was by a zombie. In fact, I think that would be really creepy. On that note, I'm actually not wearing any knitwear today either. And so, a little bit of a departure there. No knitwear. No faux hawk. I just didn't feel like messing with it today, so I plus it's gotten a little longer. I was supposed to get it cut Thursday, and my hair lady had to cancel for a doctor's appointment she had to go to. So, yeah, no faux hawk today. I did a little different. Since it's gotten so long, I kind of twisted it a little, like, to make it stand up a little bit, and then bobby pinned it here. So, a little different. I actually kind of like having a little different, so I might have her keep it longer and play with it a little bit, see what the faux hawk situation looks like. It's been a long time since I had it longer, so it might be kind of fun. But anyway, yeah, I did without the makeup and stuff so much. I just put on a little mascara. I'm a little, like, I want it to be easy today, so yeah, I'm basically just, I put a nice shirt on, one of my favorite shirts. Yeah, I'm going to stop rambling and actually get into the podcast proper. I don't have any finished objects, but I do have a couple of works in progress. So I will talk to you about those real quick. And they're actually both small at the moment, so they are living in this bag. There we go. With the little owls on it. I mean, it's birds and little fox and all that. So yeah, I love this bag. This is by Jenna Rose. She's out of Canada. Now to the actual knitting. First up, I posted a photo of a late night yarn winding date I had with a skein of Long Dog yarns in Wanderer. Please focus. And I absolutely, oh my gosh, I love this yarn. Anyway, so she asked me if I was designing something, and I was kind of messing around and being like, Anyway, so yes, I am designing something with this yarn, and I'll give you a little sneak peek. And it's on tiny needles, so it doesn't look like I've done a whole lot, but I actually have, and it is a triangle shawl. It just doesn't look like it, but this is what's going on here. I'll show you the center. So there's your sneak peek. And that's all you get. But it is knitting up beautifully. I'm having a lot of fun. The base is super nice, and the speckles of color, of course, I'm still addicted to speckles, They're knitting up really, really nicely. I am about, I'd say, maybe 30 grams into the ball of yarn. And if it was stretched out, it would be, obviously, like I said, a lot bigger. But it's probably a good, this big so far. There's the depth of it right there. So, yeah. I will be transferring it to longer needles soon and starting into the pattern that I'm trying to decide between two, actually, for the kind of, not edging, it's going to be bigger than edging. I have several different ideas, but I'm trying to decide between two. In fact, I'll just show them to you real quick. I know I've mentioned a couple times that I would like to start showing a little bit more of my design process. So I'll give you a quick peek into the two pattern, like stitch patterns that I am trying to decide between for the the patterned part of the shawl. So this is one of them right here. This one has a cable and eyelet kind of thing going on. I don't know if it'll focus. And I would honestly change it up a little bit. It wouldn't be like diamonds like the whole thing. It would be like a row of diamonds or something like that to kind of play with lines and like, yeah. I like it a lot. But the second one, and my copier blew it way out, but the second one is this right here. And as you can see, they are both vastly different. So hence the reason I'm having a lot of trouble trying to decide between the two. So, I mean, the thing is, if I don't use one now, I still have it later to use in something else. So, it's not the end of the world. But I really like I keep going back and forth between them because with this pattern, I'm actually doing like a little mini cable as the center instead of a one center stitch. I'm doing a mini cable in between the center increases. And so I think it would be really cool to pull that idea in a slightly larger twist into the rest of the pattern. But at the same time, this is some really cool texture. And it would give something different. So yeah, decisions. These have been sitting on the floor by my Stitch Dictionary shelf, just staring at me for the past couple of days. And I like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go with this one. And then, oh no, I'm going to go with this one. And yeah, so maybe I'll flip a coin. So yeah, y'all will see what I end up doing, I guess. So I'll just leave it there and we'll see. Maybe I'll just let the yarn speak to me. My second project, living in my lovely project bag, is probably not going to surprise you guys at all. Well, maybe it will, but I don't know. So I realized that after I knitted my pair of socks that I still had a ton of this yarn left over. And this is Hey Sister Yarn Co. It was a sock kit that I got. And it's what I made my last pair of socks out of. So I cast on another pair of socks with it. Now this time, instead of doing the cuff in the gold and then going heel and toe purple, I'm doing the opposite, and it's not focusing. So I'll just do this. So I did a really short little cuff and then launched right into the Fish Lips Kiss heel. And now I'm working on the body. So these are gonna be little ankle socks. I did actually go down I wanna say 4 stitches from the last pair, I think, just because the ones that I made are actually a little bit loose. So I will see how these work. I'm not gonna rip out the other ones, and they'll be lounge socks. But yeah, I'm gonna see how these work up with a few less stitches. But oh my gosh, I will never get tired of looking at this yarn, and I wish it picked up all the colors. It's just, man, I wish I could get more of it. But I am enjoying it so much. While that is it on actual tangible knitting progress, I did want to go ahead and talk about another project I haven't shown in a bit because it's been on timeout, and that is my Witching Hour shawl design. And I know I talked about not being able to find the kind of lace that I wanted for the border, that looked kind of like broomsticks or something like that, without doing actual broomstick lace, because I don't like how that looked. I went back through my Harmony guides and I found one that I think will work. And this is out of the Lace and I think it's a Lace and Eyelets Harmony guide, which I have had, since before I started designing and publishing patterns in 2009. So no, I started designing in 2009. I published my first pattern in January 2010. Oh my gosh. This is my design anniversary, 10 years. Just hit me all over again. I keep forgetting. Doesn't feel like I've been designing that long. Anyway, yeah, I pulled out this one. And I think it's perfect. It's as perfect as I'm probably going to get. So I just need to pull out the project and maybe work back and forth through the pattern, on a select number of stitches or something with another needle, and see what I think. But I think it's gonna be the closest that I'll be able to get for what I wanted. So I'm hoping to get it in progress and be able to show you guys how the lace is coming like on the next episode or two. So that's my plan. But yeah, I really like that. I really like that a lot. So that's an update on Witching Hour, and even though I didn't actually physically touch it, so I'm going to pop this in the project bag and set it out over here where I will remember to actually sit down and work on it, and we'll see where it goes. I guess we'll move on to my making plans. I saw in Andrea Mowry's Ravelry group that they're doing it's like March to May cardigan, or oh my gosh, I think you can make any of her cardigan patterns from March to May. And here we are most of the way through March and I haven't cast on, but that's because I decided to knit the little yellow sweater because it's a light sweater as opposed to, you know, DK or Sport even. It is a fingering weight cardigan. Only I'm not going to make it in yellow because my complexion and yellow are not friends at all. I'm still trying to decide what color I want to do. My yarn is sitting there undyed, ready, waiting. I'm going to use my 80/20 sock base, so it's going to be awesome and squishy and soft, but I cannot decide what color to do. So I think I want it to be kind of a pop of color in my wardrobe for going into spring and summer and then potentially on into fall. So I don't want to do it like the earth tones or the grays or blacks that I typically wear. So maybe I'll do it pink. I don't know. I think I look okay in pink. We'll see. We'll see what I decide. As far as stash enhancement, I don't actually have anything. I will very soon. And without actually breaking the bank and buying a bunch of yarn. So I decided, this is kind of like I guess it could have gone under admin or I don't know, but I have been following, last week I mentioned Fall for November yarn, and she has been posting these gorgeous pictures of her acorn colorway, and oh my gosh, I really wanted some, but I wanted to be good. So I thought back to the couple of times that I have done swaps with fellow dyers, and I decided to reach out to Nadine and ask her if she'd want to do a swap. And she said yes! Oh my gosh, I am so excited. So we chose colorway and base from each other's lines. And yesterday we were both dyeing yarn, so we actually dyed each other's yarn, which is awesome. So I am super excited about that. Cannot wait to get it and show it on the podcast. So yeah, definitely going to be talking about that. And I also have another swap in the works as well. So I've got a lot of fun stuff coming up. So for makers I'm loving right now, want to mention Wonderluck Fibers. She is having a giveaway right now, super exciting, and incidentally, we may also be swapping yarn, but I'll talk about that next time. But yeah, I love her colors and just everything. She's got a great beginning as far as what she's doing, and I'm really excited to see where that goes and get my hands on a skein of her yarn, so that's going to be fun. Yeah, so I'll talk about that a little bit more next time. But second up is Wild Lilac Moon. She is a fairly new dyer, and I really love her colors, her combinations, her photography. So definitely go and check her out, give her a follow, and help her get started. I really want to focus on dyers and makers who are just stepping into this new world of being a maker and, making a go at having their own business, because I know it's really scary. So definitely go follow both of them and give them some love. Now for this week's In the Dye Pot segment, I'm really, really excited because I finally did something I wanted to do for a long time. And that is pulling out Robin's Egg and revamping it. And I think I may have mentioned it either on the podcast last week or on Instagram, but I can't remember. So, oh well. I actually finally did it, and I'm really, really happy with the result. I am in love with how this turned out. I actually went to the dollar store and I got a cheapy toothbrush. I put a glove on, I put dye on the toothbrush, and then I used that to do my speckling, and it produced these really tiny, sharp speckles. Let me see if I can find a spot. Probably won't show up very well here, but I've taken photos and I will post them on the blog as well and on Instagram. But I really wasn't happy with, I was, but I wasn't how happy with the consistency of my speckles and how globby they were sometimes. So I watched some videos on YouTube. Nobody used a toothbrush that I can remember, but I decided to try it because I wanted to see if it would work. So yeah, but yeah, I did learn about steam setting, so that really helped a lot. Set the speckles before you pick up and turn over the skein so that they don't start running. And that was the main thing, was that they were blurring and having more of a watercolor effect instead of a really strong speckle. So experimenting with that on Robin's Egg and completely revamping the colorway has me super excited. And incidentally, now I'm looking at other colorways that I have that are really old to see if I can pull them out and do the same thing, give them the speckle treatment. And yeah, don't be surprised if you see a few more coming down the pike with speckle additions. Last but not least, I decided that I did not want to do a spring collection this year just because I have a lot going on. I did do one colorway, and I am sending it to Yarn Texas, and I'm really excited about it because she's probably going to be the first and only person to actually have it this year unless you get a custom order in before the end of this month. And I looked up on Pinterest some different flowers that I like and found a dahlia called Pretty in Pink. And this is the yarn colorway inspired by it. So I did change a little bit. I made the pink a little bit stronger than the actual flower just because I wanted more of a high contrast look to it. There we go. With that photo, the edges of the petals were a darker pink, and then they got lighter toward the center. And then there was this black speckled ring around the center of the flower, which was solid black. So that's where, if you unbraid this, you see that kind of progression through the skein, and it's really cool. I'm not going to unbraid it because I love how it looks like this, but anyway, that was the idea, and I'm really excited. This is not a club colorway, so it will be in my regular lineup. You'll probably see it in some shop updates going into spring, and yeah, I'm really excited with how this turned out. I think that's about it for the knitting and yarn content. I'm going to go through my quick little life segment, and then I think I'm going to wrap it up. So right now I am reading this book right here, or rather working through it. 52 Lists for Calm by Moria Seal. It's really cool. Journaling inspiration for soothing anxiety and creating a peaceful life. She wrote the 52 Lists book, the original one, which I still haven't remembered to finish. But I saw this at Barnes & Noble the other day, and I was really interested to see if maybe it would help me kind of slow down and process things better and kind of deal with my anxiety a little bit better in a more tangible form where I can go back and see my progress. So I really am curious to see, what all the lists are like and the exercises and everything. But so far, I'm liking it. I am on my first list, but it already really, the first list is list everything you are thinking about right now. And I just kind of word vomited on the page. It was like, wow, no wonder my brain feels like it's constantly on overload. I'm thinking about a lot of stuff right now. So it was kind of eye-opening. And then she has she has to do an exercise after that. So I'm going to do that today. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, and I'll try to remember to keep you guys posted and give an actual review. That was so redundant. Anyway, sorry, words are hard. But yeah, I'm going to see if I can do more of an actual review as I go through the book and complete more lists. For what I'm watching, still watching Outlander, no brainer. I did start Frozen 2 because it's on Disney Plus right now. Yay! Haven't quite finished it because Michael and I are watching it while we eat dinner in the evenings. He's so sweet to watch it with me. So yeah, so far I like it a lot, and I will probably talk about it more once I've actually finished it. While I've been knitting, I have been catching up on podcasts. Fiber for the People has been doing, Taylor at Fiber for the People has been doing daily vlogs. Those have been awesome. And then there was something that came up in my suggestions, like on YouTube for aquascaping. And I was like, what the heck is this? So I just started watching it, and it turned out it's really interesting. At least I think that's what it's called. I'll link to the channel that I found. But this guy basically builds little miniature landscapes in like a glass box and uses rocks and does like a water pump to make waterfalls and like all this stuff. And it's really, really cool. So I will link to it. It makes for very calming, like right before bed, sitting and knitting kind of watching. So who knows, maybe you guys will enjoy it too. And then as far as what I'm playing, still playing Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I've picked up Magic the Gathering again after not playing for a while. Michael and Allison and I have been having a lot of fun with that, playing quite a bit. Forgot how much fun it is to play something that's not electronic, like with people. So it's been a lot of fun. And then on my phone, I've been playing Pocket Frogs. I picked that up again because why not? It's fun. Well, guys, that is it for today. I told you it's going to be kind of short, so yeah, hopefully next week I'll have more actual knitting content, like, progress on more than 2 things, Anyway, we'll see. But before I go, just a quick reminder to like, comment, and subscribe. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I want to hit that first milestone and get the giveaways started. So make sure you're sharing with all of your Knitterly friends so that way we can get those going. Also, quick shout out to my buddy Shay at Cameo Yarns. She has started the Indie Maker Support Project on Instagram, where she basically shines a spotlight on makers that are struggling with all of the show cancellations right now and local yarn stores closing and things like that. Definitely go follow that Instagram, look through the accounts that she is sharing. It's an awesome idea, and I want to help get the word out so that way we can, as a community, come together and help the makers who really do count on those shows to make a living and take care of their families and all of that. So definitely go check that out. All the links for that will be in the show notes. So I hope you guys stay well, knit through it all. We can do this. And I will be back with you guys next week. Be happy, be healthy, behave, and happy knitting.